Begin with the brief intro of both BSE and Cape Forum. This BSE is Asia's first and the fastest stock exchange in the world, formerly known as Bombay Stock Exchange, established in 1875. And over the past 146 years, this BSE has facilitated the growth of Indian corporate sector by providing it an efficient capital raising platform. This BSE deals with companies, stocks, securities, and investments involved in protects and promotes the interest of individual as a social responsibility and associates with educational institution in India to conduct skill development, investment literacy, and awareness program. And this webinar is a part of skill development and awareness for students and teaching community. This BSE builds wealth with capital market through stock market and investment and ultimately contributes to Indian economy too. Then the Cape Forum is organized under the trust name of Buying for You, is a non-profit organization, and the desirous establishment of this trust is for research and development program, skill development and training program, female health and awareness, education and child development, and women empowerment. And the Cape Forum involved in organizing various programs to fulfill the objectives of the trust. With this brief intro of both BSE and Cape Forum, I now inaugurate the session on innovative business ideas by introducing our honorable speaker of the day, Ms. Veda Viswanathan ma'am. Ms. Veda Viswanathan, a trainer and mentor, promotional and campaign specialist, director operations IT, VAR Data Technology Private Limited, head of HR operations at Innovative Associates, having her top skills in online mentoring, training and development, process automation, project management, total quality management, liaison, budget planning, HRM, and entrepreneurial mindset. She is well versed in languages with English, Hindi, Tamil, Malayalam, Kannada, and Telugu. Having done certifications in applied clinical psychology, black box texting, STC, Bangalore AutoCAD, she is a coach and a promotional campaign manager aimed at making it easier to achieve the right results through webinar, video presentation, physical presentation on various topics and subject streams. She has seasoned people leaders with 10+ years of experience in people management, operations management, and customer relations across various sectors like HR, e-commerce, education, and insurance. She is a certified life coach, NLP and CBT practitioner, NHRDN member, HOSU chapter, and NHRDN Youth Council coordinator. With strong communication, leadership skill, and liaison capability and drive to succeed, she passionate about building and leading competitive teams and creating a culture of excellence. She had partnered with Innovative Associates and their recruitment team too. So with this brief intro of our resource person and the speaker of today's webinar, I would like to hand over the session to her. Hearty welcome to you, ma'am, on behalf of the management, principal, and head of the department, every organizing members of this webinar, and all the participants present here. Welcome to you, dear ma'am.
Thank you.
Now it's time for you to start with your presentation. Ma'am, please.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for this wonderful, amazing start about me. And I feel really overwhelmed to be with this college, one of the renowned colleges. And ma'am, may I go ahead and share the screen now?
Yeah, yes, please.
So, all the introduction which was given to me is nothing new, and it's not anything big, unless I am going to turn you all and provoke the idea of getting you into the entrepreneurial mindset and all that. So I consider that as the success ratio, and I hope that I do justice to the topic which I've taken today. And I am feeling really overwhelmed to be with among the women group who's going to be a budding entrepreneur. I'm going to see you all like me, the way I saw myself. So that's the reason I'm pretty overwhelmed today. And without any wait, because there is a lot of skills and there is a lot of technical details which we'll have to be discussing today. So I'm jumping into the topic right away without taking much of your time as well, because there's too much of introduction going on already. So you all know about me well now. So all I have to do now is deliver what is the content which I got for you all today. Fine. So let's get into it. And I hope you're all able to look into the screen, the PPT which I have shared. And I want you all to please be interactive over the chat. I recommend you strongly to please utilize the chat, and any kind of doubts you have and everything, you can always ask me over the chat. And finally, at the last, we are having around 15 to 20 minutes of solid open house question session, where you can ask me any questions related to the entrepreneurship. And I will try to definitely give you the resource to it. If I'm not able to, I will definitely get back to you on that. I will leave you my contact details and everything. So now I need a very good interactive S from you all. So is everybody available here and you're able to see the PPT? Just put an S over the chat.
So you have to select the speaker name and then type S. Not to Cape Forum. Select Veda and you can interact through chat box. So I could see many yes now here.
Yes.
Yes.
So thank you. So before going into the business entrepreneurs and innovative ideas that we could start, I would like to address this to all the women as to why do they feel there is a challenge. First of all, we shouldn't have any kind of barrier or anything, but still there are challenges why women entrepreneurs never come out, even though they have many ideas and even though they feel that, yes, I can do it, but something keeps them stopping. So there are two types of barriers which I would like to bring it out to light and bring it out to your own senses that, yes, this is the reason I have been stopping myself and I shouldn't be stopping anymore. So there are two types. One is internal barrier and the second is the external barrier. Okay. The external barrier, I'm telling you, you can just take my words for granted, or you can believe that these are things which you cannot control. So you don't have to be worried about it. Okay, so external barriers, though the list might look a little bigger, you don't have to be worried about the external barrier. But the internal barrier is something that's under your control. And yes, you have to be worried if you're not able to overcome it. When things are under your control, it means you can take over, you can override the rules and go ahead. Okay, so what do you think will be the internal barriers when you want to start as a woman, being a woman entrepreneur or an entrepreneur? This question is open for all. I'm particularly concentrating on women because this idea, Dr. Shubhatra ma'am asked me to do it. It was because to provoke the women and get them motivated. Okay, so this question is open for all. So what do you think is the internal barrier for you to be a startup owner or a business owner? You can put it over the chat. Meanwhile, I will explain what I found out in my research and all that. Okay. And after that, I will come back to you on the chat. So you have to please mention in the chat as to why you have not started the journey of becoming an entrepreneur. Okay. I'm sorry. Is somebody asking me a question? Ma'am, I want others on the mute because kind of disturbing. Yeah, thank you. So the internal barrier is to decide and have a pre-confirmation. Mostly the internal barrier is like you want to know very surely that this is not going to fail. Only if you have an assurance that you're not going to fail in your life, or you're not going to fail in this particular task you have taken, only then you're very much confident about taking the next step. You're so bothered about the aftermath, and you're so worried that what is going to happen to me when I fail. That's where you are not able to decide, and you put all the pressure over yourself, thinking that I don't have a proper route to this. I'm not able to see a clear route. I do not have a pre-confirmation, and that is the main reason I'm not going to do this. That's it. You stop it there and then. And you always think that it's not possible. Then second point is lack of risk assessing abilities. Like, you have a lot of this pessimistic behavior and you're not able to assess the risk which you are able to take. You don't know if you're able to take this risk or not. But I will just ask you, if you're a married woman and if you have given birth to a child, you think there is much greater risk than bearing a child and delivering it to the world? No. And you should, if you're an unmarried woman, you should have seen your mom do that, right? She has raised you, right? So risk assessing ability is not lacking. Actually, you're not actually assessing it. You're not bringing it to your confrontation. You're not bringing it to your subconscious mind saying that I can take the risk and I will face it. But I have a very interesting news for you. You think this is not the same case when a male entrepreneur starts a business? I have a news that it's the same for all the entrepreneurs, no matter of gender, no matter it's male or female. When they start, there is going to be a risk, and the male are very much ready to face it. Why? Because they're ready to able to take the peer pressure. They will be ready to answer the questions, or they simply ignore it. And we are also okay to do that. You are not obligated to answer everyone. So it's okay when you take a risk and it fails, you are going to redo it. That's how you build in your own career, your set path and everything. And then the fear of being denied, rejected and neglected. This is the same thing which we all face. Okay. When it starts from the point of rejection from our school, from our career, from our proposals, from our marriage proposals, everything, everywhere we are only scared of facing the rejection. That is the main reason for our internal barriers to stop us to take you to the next level of being a woman entrepreneur. So I'm just telling, and as I told you, it is very easy for me to speak it out and tell that please break all these barriers and come out and everything. So now I'm just going to go through into check what are the others have given as to what will be the internal barrier they have been facing because they were not able to start the entrepreneurship. Dr. Gandhi Madi is telling she's got family commitments and finance. That is the main reason she could not start the own business. Then lack of family support, Dr. Raghuraman says. And then somebody from unknown name, because I'm not able to read the name, says family residence location. And then somebody says no motivation and all that. So I'm asking you all one small question. I want you all to imagine that very next to you, there is a very small or a very 10-year-old person of yourself. Okay. Imagine that whoever it is, whoever you are, your 10-year-old is sitting next to you, or imagine that your children is sitting next to you. Would you tell them that when they come and tell you that, Amma, I want to start a business, what do you say? So would you tell them that no, family will not support you? Your location, your whatever moral support or whatever economic background you're having is not going to help you. Please don't start the entrepreneurship. Would you tell them that? Yes or no? Say, imagine there is a 10-year-old of yourself or your children is sitting next to you and they're going and telling you that I want to be an entrepreneur. Is it okay? Yes or no? And would you give all these reasons to them? Would you demotivate them? Yes, no. No, I wouldn't do that to my 10 years old or my daughter. No, I wouldn't do that. Dr. Gandhi Madi, no. Others, and I see there are around 74 participants and I am seeing only 4 people interacting. I want you all to interact. Just say, yeah. Somebody from iPhone says no, Mahalakshmi says no, Deepak Nair says no. Great. So I will keep checking on the chat. So when you know that you wouldn't do this to somebody else, your own self 10-year-old, to your own daughter, to your own son, you wouldn't do this, then why do you apply to yourself? Why do you stop yourself from all this? So as I told you, I can give on and on reasons on this. I can go ahead and provoke you, get you motivated and all that. But whatever you want to achieve being an entrepreneur is just at the next side of the fear or the next side of the rejection you think you're going to face. Okay. Generally, women, what they think is that even if it is their own hard-earned money, they went to the job, they work 24 hours day and night, and it's their own money. And if they want to spend it, they seek approvals, which is not required. Please take responsibility of your money. It doesn't mean that you please go ahead and try the business which you don't even know and live off the money. No, I'm not giving you such an idea. I'm telling, please take responsibility of your money. Yes, it's your hard-earned money. Yes, you have to have more responsibility and try doing the homework, see which works out for you, your situation and everything. So after this, in these slides, I am going to definitely show you the path of how you can choose your own business and what are the types of businesses that are available and whom you can approach for financial support. Okay, fine. And the external barriers, you know, what the social and high expectations are. Like once the women has done it, it has to be right. Okay. And it so happens for the entrepreneurs also. Once you have started the business, it means that the whole peer, the whole group is expecting you to exactly win in 1 year, which is not possible. You have to fail and then taste the success. It's the universal rule, and it's very common, and it's okay to get that done. And then accessing funding, as you all told, yes, getting funds is the second question of being an entrepreneur. I will tell you an example, or I will give you a important survey, world-class survey that was taken. Of all the startups, there was a survey taken to understand why did that startup become a successful one. Okay. Like Airbnb, Swiggy, Zomato, take all successful startups, and those startups name you don't know are the ones which failed. Okay, which if you go through one name and you think, oh, I didn't know this, there was a startup like this. If you didn't know it, because it didn't work out well and it's failed. Okay, so why few startups successfully ran? Because they were just checking on the survey of what was that one important factor that came to them, and that how did they become successful. So they gave 5 categories. They gave business idea, they gave teamwork, and they gave money, that is funding. Then fourth is the timing, what timing they did it. And the fifth one is the methodology, how did they get it into implementation. So to be on the surprise, or to be very, very well understanding the nature, it so came that the first important thing that company which became successful was the time. They started it up at the right time when they had to. Airbnb came up when there was a recession and they didn't know how to make money, and all the companies were closing and all that. So whoever had their own house, they started giving rent of one portion, and they were able to make money. Uber was one such thing where they didn't know the taxi drivers didn't know how to develop their business and all that. That's when Uber came in, and all the taxi drivers joined them, and they collaterally developed the business. And do you all know the Oyo Room owner, the person who's running this business, Oyo Room, doesn't own even 1 square feet of land, but he has n number of hotels under him. So that is how. So you have to develop the product or the service or this entrepreneurial idea at the proper time. And I'm telling you, this lockdown is the right time to do your trial and error method and to implement and everything. I heard the saying that it is the worst sin to waste lockdown. Lockdown is the best time where you have enough money, you'll have enough time, you'll have enough homework done, you'll have your family support, you're at home and everything, and you'll be able to implement it. Second was where they wanted a teamwork. If you want to do it solo, you can do it solo. And yes, secondly, you need a good team. Third was the business idea and methodology. And last came the funding. Whoever thought that funding was very important, it just proved wrong. It was the fifth thing which you need. When you start up all this, money starts flowing. And I will also help you, or I will also give you an insight of how to get the first investment and how to develop from that and all. Okay. And the third and fourth is like struggling to be taken seriously, because when you say, as a woman, when you say that I'm going to make business, the first thing our own family will tell, go look at your work. We'll see. We'll talk later on. They'll brush it off. And you yourself don't take yourself seriously. So please come out of that barrier and tell, I am going to start this day. You will start it. Then building support network. This is the most comical thing which I find. I see in all movies, especially in Indian movies, all serials, everywhere, women trying to be enemy of a woman. And how does that even prove correct? I don't see any women finding, I see in especially the serials, all the villain women wants to go fight with the heroine, kill her or do something to her, kidnap her and spoil her business or whatever it is. I see this in all the serials like a cliche. So we are not for that. I tell you, if women network is going to build up properly, then that is much dangerous than a nuclear energy. You have to take this word. If you're going to support each other, then that is the most wonderful thing that could ever happen. You're going to support your own co-human, where you will self-develop yourself. And the final one is empowering each other. So I told you, I put this in the same point itself. So you have to empower each other so that you will know what kind of support you're having. Then, so I'm going to give you a small number on how we are all performing, okay, as a woman, how we are performing. So in India, actually, there is a ratio which says that in India, there is 633 lakh enterprises opened like this, not the private limited and all that, startups like this, which comes under MSME, micro, small, medium enterprises. We are having 633 lakh enterprises across India. Under that, we are only 20%, 14 to 20% from last decade. In 10 years, it's only 20% is women-owned enterprises. So you think we are all not capable of getting it done? Why only 20% are coming out? It's because of the scare, and luckily at least 20% has come up. So I feel that if you, the more you start trying, the more you start coming up, you will get more and more support. Okay, then it is not that we can simply blame the government all the time. Okay, you can't sell that no gender bias, no equality and all that. You try to take the first step, then automatically the supports will start coming in. Okay, and the second point is there are 58% of female entrepreneurs who are from 20 to 30 years. So you're all thinking that once our family is settled, once my daughter and son are settled after their studies and everything, then I will do my startup because that is the age nobody will ask me anything and all that. You can notice that 58%, more than around 60%, they have started when it was young. So you will be able to face, you will be able to take the pressure, you will be able to face the failure. Do it when you're young, and any age is young. I'm not meaning that above 30 are not younger. I'm just telling any age is young, and you please try and go ahead and don't hold yourself that thinking that you're too young to start or you're too old to start. Vice versa, anytime you have to start. Then nearly 73% of them are reporting around 10 lakhs of revenue. Out of that 20%, 70%, 73% are reporting 10 lakhs revenue. 57% started with solo. 35 started with co-founders. 71% are having minimum five employees with them. So this number might seem low, but it seems wow to me. It's very great. They have done it to that level. So you're not alone in this. When you want to do a business, when you want to develop, now take this current pandemic situation, you must have heard all your colleagues, your friends, anybody there as to, they have been speaking about layoff, retrenchment, pushing them out, no job, this and that. And you should always have this mindset of sustainability when you know that you're able to survive on your own. You know, you should have studied this Charles Darwin theory, which says survival of fittest. It's nothing but who knows to survive and being fit as and when the changes come, adapting to the change. Okay, so it is not that I'm telling you don't go to work and all start your entrepreneurship. I'm telling entrepreneurship is also always there in your plan. Once you know that nothing is working, you can be a good entrepreneur. Or go ahead and try entrepreneurship, and if everything fails, definitely we would have learned something and we can go to work. By being an entrepreneur, you don't have to go search for a job. You will be giving 10 people's job. You're going to increase the employment exchange rates. You're going to increase the actual gross domestic products rate, GDP's rate, where everywhere in memes and newspapers and everywhere we have been blaming the Modi's government that the GDP during the other period and this period is actually drastically reduced and all that. And when we do our part, when we go ahead and do our part, there is nobody who can stop us. Okay. So the next slide I'm going to show you is about the schemes, I suppose. Yeah. So before doing this, before explaining about what are all the supports you're having and what are the business ideas, I would mentally ask you all to be prepared to register your whatever entrepreneurship you're going to do, whatever business you're going to start. Please register it under MSME certification. That I have a separate webinar for that also, and I will just give you a small glimpse on it. That is nothing but where by doing MSME registration, you get Udyog Aadhaar Memorandum, UAM, which is nothing but the Aadhaar of the business. Like how you all have an Aadhaar for self-identity, there is an Aadhaar for the business. Okay. So Udyog Aadhaar is nothing but it says that this particular business is available in this location under this name and on this date. Okay, so based on that, once you register yourself under MSME certification, you will be open to a lot of platform, Yojana schemes and everything which you don't know is available. And there's one more thing which you should know about government. Okay, unless and until it's asked for, you will never be given. Okay, according to the government, this is the policy. There are any number of policies which is available inside. You have to Google it, and you should ask Sundaram Pichai all the time. He will tell you everything over the search engine, and only if you ask for it. I am applying for this. What are the benefits availability, and you will immediately get. Unless and until you take the first step, it's not going to happen. So that is what I'm telling. So once you have decided that you want to be an entrepreneur and start a business, then there is a help you can approach. And I have put it on the screen right in front of you, which I'm going to explain. Meanwhile, I want you all to please type on the chat, what is the business you're trying to start? It's okay even if you have not started, but what is the idea you want to start? Any idea. If you don't have any idea, mention no idea. It's okay, because I will give you ideas. Maybe you don't know that there's something somewhere sleeping inside you. I will give you ideas, but I want each one of you to please put over the chat and let me know what is the business you would like to start. And at the end of the session, I will give you ideas of whom and how to develop that business, with how to get the vendors, suppliers, what schemes you can get, what are the benefits available, and everything. Mahalakshmi ma'am, no idea, then I will help you out with it. But yes, that's a good start. She had all the guts and all that to tell. I think there are people who belong under this category, but I am telling you, please be open and put it over the chat. If you have no idea, I am here right away to help you out. Maybe my thoughts and my way of getting things done might provoke you in getting you an idea, and I can take the credit of that. Thank you. Fine. So yes, Dr. Gandhimati, yes, if you have no idea, it's okay. I'm going to show you many ideas, and others, please let me know what are the business ideas you're having. It could be anything, any simple thing. You want to start a YouTube channel, you want to make face masks, you want to do tailoring, gardening, anything. Do not underestimate it. The business ideas which I have for you going to make you awestruck, and you will be amazed to look at, can that be done as a business like that? Okay, so meanwhile, I'm going to finish explaining the government schemes which are available, but I want all the people to please go ahead and type the business ideas you would like to start. Fine. Under the MSME schemes, okay, so as I told you, the first step to get all the schemes benefit, you will have to first register your business under MSME scheme, and it will not cost like rocket science or anything. It's just going to cost less than 1,000. Believe me. All you have to do is just you can do it online. If you feel that it's not you're not able to do it online, then you can also approach your auditors. If you think that, okay, I'm a sole proprietor, I'm only starting it simply, and you don't want to do, MSME Udyam registration.gov.in. I'm going to put it over the chat. That is the registration site. You have to just add whatever it is asking for. Please, once you go through whatever details which you don't have, you have to just get it done through the auditors. Okay. It'll ask for the certificate of incorporation, then your KYC, that is your Aadhaar, PAN card, and everything, and you can enter it. It is a very simple step. Over the chat after this, I will put the link where you can register by yourself. But few details you will have to take your auditor's help, and it is not going to cost not even more than 2,000. You can trust me. I have done that. Okay. Then the first thing is Mudra Yojana scheme. The Mudra Yojana scheme is especially for ladies who wants to start without any setup. If you don't have any land, or maybe you only have a rental space and everything, then this particular scheme is going to give you 50,000, and is especially for enterprises like beauty parlor, tuition center, tailoring unit, organic farming, Tupperware business, and all that. For that, they will provide up to 50,000 without any setup or any collateral or any guarantor or anything. But up to 50 lakhs or more than 50 lakhs to till 10 lakhs, that is 60 lakhs, they will give if you have a guarantor, collateral, if you have own land, if you already have a setup. Then more than that, based on whatever you're having, based on that value, they will give 50 lakhs. But the first 50,000, the Shishu plan, is for new business owners without any setup at all. You can approach it through the bank. And more better idea which I would give is, because most of you are from Tamil Nadu, and I am giving this question to everybody common on the platform. I am asking you, have you ever approached this this setup called as Sangam? In Tamil, it is called Sangam Bank. It is run by the women. And that is registered under the NBFC. It is a crowdfunding done by the women. It is called Sangam. Okay, I am just typing it over the screen for you all. Sangam Bank. It is run by the women only. It is registered under NBFC. And each cities they try to give loan from that. That will be done by the volunteer of 10 or 20 women, and they get it registered and they give crowdfunding. Has anybody heard of it, or anybody have approached them to get loans from them? No. Anybody? People from other state, if you don't know what it is crowdfunding run by women, and it's an NBFC, non-banking. So see, this is what is another barrier which we go through. Okay, we as a individual or as a woman, we are afraid of taking money or help, monetary help from others. And I would ask you, why don't you approach Sangam? Sangam has got lot of plans or lot of loan availability at a very less loan rate, interest rate. I'm not promoting them, but when it is available next to us, we never believe in it. We never take the one which is right next to us in the street. We think that sometimes they might cheat us. Every bank nowadays, the way the banks scared us, we don't know which bank is going to be even there available for the next 2-3 years. So when I would encourage you all to go ahead and check with Sangam, and in Sangam, without any kind of establishment or any kind of setup, they are giving up to 2 lakhs loan. I have taken 2 lakhs loan from Sangam, and I pay the cheapest rate of interest with them, and I have finished paying. They gave me the first set of investment. If you want to start a business, I am telling you 2 lakhs is more than enough for your own first, for that 10 streets which you are trying to deliver, or for the first set of production which you are going to make. So I would suggest you to please try that. So Mudra Yojana scheme and Sangam is very much similar to it. The second type is the TRED. There are two types in TRED. Mostly people get confused. The one which I am talking about is trade-related entrepreneurship assistance and development scheme, especially for women, where they give up to 30% of the total project's cost. If you submit a project that I'm going to do this on water treatment or anything of that sort, or they're going to make dried vegetables or mango pulp and everything, then they will give you, if you show them a projection, they will give you 30% of the total project's cost as a loan, and they will also give you an assistance to develop the business and all that. That is one TRED. The second TRED is trade receivable discounts. That is one more platform which is available online. It's called as M1 Exchange platform. M1 Exchange platform is nothing but where you update all your invoices. Okay, you will make sales, right? You have to update all the bills and invoices there. That's all. You have to do only so much. And what that platform does by itself is that it will start collating how is your revenue and expenditure of the business, and it will pull angel investors, just like this Policy Bazaar, where you give your request for loan and you get lot of details about who's giving you lesser rate of interest for loan and what is the percentage and all that. Similarly, when you update your invoice and bills, that's called factoring unit. Once you update that, the platform itself pulls in angel investors. They will come and show you that based on your business, based on your invoices which you have uploaded, I am giving you so much loan for this rate of interest. Are you interested or not? And you can take the bid if you want to. There will be 10 bids, and you can take the bid whichever actually helps you out or whichever is feasible for you. Okay. The third type is the Mahila Udyayam Nidhi scheme, which is nothing but which is run by the Small Industry Development Bank of India. They are giving up to 10 lakhs for small scale venture, but it should already be an existing project. If you have a project already, you have done a 1 year of transaction and all that, then they will give it to you, and they will give up to 10 lakhs. And they have a repay year for 10 years. And in this scheme, there is a special allowance of 5 years of moratorium. Moratorium means you don't have to pay the interest now. After the time which they have told, they'll have to do. Yes, Ms. Ratna. Ma'am, host, can you please unmute Ratna? I think she has raised her hand for some doubt.
We'll make it at the end, ma'am. You can continue.
Okay, okay then, fine. Okay, Ms. Ratna, I'll catch up with you at the end. Thank you. Fine. So this moratorium means nothing but you have to pay it at the end. but that for that year, whatever interest was there will be deducted from the year which they have asked you to pay. It is not that you will not have interest. Interest will be there, but you have to start paying from the next year where whatever they have told. So in this particular Mahila Udyayam Nidhi scheme, you have 5 years of moratorium. You have to start paying only from the 5th year. I mean, after 5 years is closed, 6th year. Okay. Then Annapurna scheme is for all, it's a boon for all the ladies who have got good cooking skills. If you have got good cooking skills and you have no setup, they're giving up to 50,000. They're giving up to 5 lakhs, where if you have a setup, like if you at least show a rental agreement and a land where you can start up the mess and everything, then to buy kitchen utensils, furnitures and everything, they are giving loans for that under the name of Annapurna scheme if it is food related. Food related need not be only cooking. It could be any food items, pickles, dried foods, then anything like juice, organic foods, organic farming and everything. Under all that, they give loans under Annapurna scheme. But here, the only thing is that they give up to 36 installments. You have to repay within 36 installments. Then Shri Shakti package for women is especially where they give it under this particular scheme. They give interest concession up to 0.05%, and they give up to 2 lakhs loan. If you're having a small business and it's something related to IT, this package, if you choose, in this package, they are giving only 2 lakhs loan, and then with the interest concession also, similar to the Sangam, as I told you. Then Bharatiya Mahilas Bank is giving up to 20 crores, but it has to be a small or a medium, even for micro, but only if you have a setup, if you have a collateral and a guarantor, then they will be able to give. And this has been merged by State Bank of India. So that is the reason there are a lot of procedures. But if you have a business and you are running it already, you have a land and everything, you have a collateral and a guarantor, then you can take up to 20 crores by submitting your project. This is the only loan where they give higher amount, provided there should be the requirement. There is nothing like they will give simply. Then Dena Shakti Bank, Dena Shakti scheme, Oriental scheme, Sant Kalyani scheme, all these three is based on the bank. Dena Shakti scheme can be given by Dena Bank, Sant Kalyani by Central Bank, and Oriental by Oriental Bank. So only difference is that they are in Dena Shakti scheme, they are giving up to 20 lakhs and 0.25% of rate of interest concession. Under Sant Kalyani scheme, they are giving up to 1 crore, and especially for agricultural work. And for Oriental, similarly, as I told you, it is from the for owners, or if you can open account in Oriental Bank, then you get the loan from that particular bank. And Udyogini scheme is for ladies who have lost their husband, who are divorcee, who are widowed, who are disabled. For all of them, they are giving without anything. If you submit properly the proof that you have been widowed and divorced and you're disabled, they are giving first 45,000 without anything. And the next loans up to whatever you want to. The first 45,000 is subsidy for you. There is a difference between loan and subsidy. Loan is you have to repay. Subsidy is for yourself. You can take it. So they are giving 45,000. If you also prove that your annual income is less than 40,000 and all that, and then they are giving you 30% of loan for the projects which you have shown. And as and when you develop, they keep giving the 100% loan also. You can belong, if you belong to SC/ST category, you don't have to be even widow or a disabled person. Then you get this loan again. You're eligible for this loan again. So these are the schemes which you can approach and start off your business if you think you don't have funding. And as I told you, Sangam is the first and best option, which I will ask you all to go ahead and try. And when I started business, I had around, I had my father's assets. Like there was around 5 to 6 lathe machines and surface grinding machines and milling machines. So based on that, I was able to take Stand Up India loan up to 12 lakhs. First, they gave me 10 lakhs and 2 lakhs during this pandemic time after the Nirmala Sitharaman's announcement, where they gave liquidity of cash with 3,000 crores that was released for MSME. So based on that, I got 2 lakhs. But for me, as I told you, I had to show a setup where I had to show these stock statement up to 14 lakhs. And only then I was able to take 12 lakhs. So I took it under Stand Up India loan. So if you have setups like that, then you can go ahead and take also. Then now I have this business innovative ideas. So meanwhile, I will check if there anybody who has given best ideas over the chat. Okay. Many of them have told, okay, one person has told what if already started business, but due to pandemic suffered loss. I will come back to that. I will definitely explain on that. Mahalakshmi Muthu on teaching field, great tuition center. Then many of them have told no, and most of them, like around 10% have replied, and around 90% have not replied. So it's okay. Once I finished giving you the ideas, probably you will get more ideas, then we can discuss on that. So this business idea where I have put is, they are nowhere from MBA. They are no MBAs. They are not from Harvard University. They have not gone out of India. They do not belong to any rich family or anything. They all come from a very simple background, and it is not at all anywhere related to IT or coding or any big words. Which it is. It is all simple ideas which you wouldn't have thought of, or maybe you had it and you never tried of opening it up as a entrepreneurship business. So this first person you all see is Miss Archana Stalin. Archana Stalin is actually from Chennai, and she is running My Harvest business. She's doing an organic farm on her rooftop. Okay. And what she does is, she's just not selling the harvest. She's also tying up with schools and college to teach this as an agricultural or a workshop to them. It's a great idea, right? Reconnecting with nature. How many of the children or how many of us know how to do agriculture? Do we all try even, planting a seed and bringing it as a plant? We don't do that. So she has taken this initiation to do pesticide free plants. Organic is not a very uncommon word to us. We all know what is organic, which is chemical free. Organic farming is going to be the boom for the next years, because you know how it is going to be in the after pandemic and everything has to be clean, sophisticated, hygienic. There will be a lot of talks on that. So organic farming will be on the boom already. It is already set on the boom, and she took it to the next level by introducing it in the schools and colleges as a workshop, and they have started welcoming it, and she started making money out of it. And she is a great entrepreneur there, who's surviving, who's doing a great job in organic farming, and by connecting it with the schools and colleges with young minds, which is a great idea. And then the second corner here, which if you're able to see, is this corner. I'm actually pointing over the screen on a small image. That is Revati Akka. Revati Akka mess is in Chennai. I don't know the area correctly, but she's not even from a college graduate or having a fancy dress or a fancy restaurant or anything, but she is running a non-veg mess where she gives unlimited meals on non-veg for 60 rupees. Great catch. I wish I was in Chennai. Okay. But like, I'm near Bangalore, I don't have any such option. And in this corona, I was not allowed to travel, and her business is going without any loss because she's providing food to many number of people. She's so popular in her area, and she was able to do it. Like, it's a catch, right? We would have heard of unlimited meals in vegetarian biryani and this and that, but she was able to give a non-veg. That was the catch she gave. She did nothing on entrepreneurship skill, no MBA and anything, but still she made it, right? Then Miss Rajamani, I could not find her photo over the internet, but I got to know about her. She is a person who became widow at the age of 26. And when her husband left, she only had 3 cycles. So when she didn't know how to start the business, and whoever told me there was no family support, no idea and everything, same thing to her. She did not have any idea how to start the business, where to leave the children and go. So what she did was, she had those 3 cycles that she started giving it for rent. Okay. After giving it for rent, she was able to get in more and more of cycles, and she continuously started giving rents, and there were a lot of damages returning. Okay. Those cycles which were taken for rent, it came back with damages. So she didn't know now what to do with those damaged cycles. Slowly, she started developing and getting new cycles. That was fine. That was going on one side. Slowly, the second vertical which she opened was that she started making spares of cycle parts, which not even the Hero Cycle company would have thought of. She started supplying to all branded companies and all that, and now she's really doing a great thing, and she's earning, she's able to pay, and she's able to make pay all her loans and everything, and she's actually in a very good position. So whoever thought that we don't have anything in our hand, if you feel that you have some kind of or some kind of talent in you, try to churn that as a money, try to make that as a money at the first attempt. If you win, fine. If you don't win, then you'll go to the next step. That's it. Then the next entrepreneur we are going to see is Shri Vidya. Shri Vidya is also a single parent where she had a co-founder to start this business. And right now she is running a business up to 22 crores turnover with 4 verticals. So what she does is she hires all disabled and mute who can't speak, who can't hear, and of course they can't be blind. Okay. Then they who are widowed, who lost husband and everybody. She trains them. If you don't know to read and write, you're not able to speak, she trains them on household work. Okay. Then she trains them to be a teacher and be a nanny and all that. And she is sending everyone, and she's also making them pursue MBA in IGNOU and making them teachers, making them entrepreneurs, marketers, or digital marketing and everything. And she's training, and she has been giving employment to n number of ladies. And as I told you, now she's making around 22 crores of turnover with 4 verticals. Vertical, it means 4 types of business. Nanny, that is the people who take care of daycare, household work, tuition centers, and the MBA marketing, digital marketing thing. Okay, so she also wouldn't have had an idea of how to start and what to start, but she found out a new method because she was in a position that nobody will help her. That is the reason she chose people of her kind, and that is how it developed. Then this is an interesting personality, Pabiban Rabari. I like her personally because she's from Kutch district, and she's the brand ambassador of Rabari embroideries. You know, she has not, look at her attire and the way she looks. She's a very simple tribal woman, and being a brand ambassador is something great. We must have all seen all lovely ladies like Aishwarya Rai and Shushmita Sen being a brand ambassador of a particular brand. And this lady started her own embroidery with 10 people, and that became a big brand. And now she has become her own brand's ambassador also. And look at her hard work from where it has taken, and still she says simple like this with her own tribal attires and everything. So whoever thinks that art and craft is a very small thing, please don't underestimate that. Huh? Embroideries are very much welcomed in North India and West and East, and we can also bring it in South India. Nowadays, it is like being attracted and it is being sold out everywhere. Then this lady at your left, Tinala, I call her Tina. I know her personally, and I have been with her during trekking. And I didn't know until I met her. Actually, she is the only person in Ladakh who can train and do the mountaineering there in Ladakh. Okay, and she's also having around 30 staffs who are working to take people up and down over the Ladakh mountaineering thing. And she's the only person who can also train you on how to be a mountaineering person also. So Tinala is from Ladakh, and she is what to say, the Women's Travel Company has given her an award for that she has got the most innovative business idea. And similarly, Sobita is from very interior Assam part, Telana, and she's making business out of manure. Whatever was available to her, that is what, and she's been supplying it to all industries, and she's making this one, the package of organic manures. And the final one is Neha Arora from Delhi. This is, and I would call this as the most innovative one because I felt that she has thought in a way which nobody could think of. What she did was she has completed her certification in visa and migration, and she thought that what if people are not able to travel like her? Whenever she wanted to travel, she would travel. But what some people with difficulties, like who are more than 60 years old, who are disabled, who are leg and hands, what they call that, crippled, actually don't have Paralympic. Okay, so for such people, what do they do? How do they travel and all that? So what she did was all she did now was she will arrange for a visa and immigration. If you apply to her, she will take the people who have applied to it all the way, tour around and bring them back safely. She has done this as a business, and now she is having around 15 employees with her. They roam around, and then they roam around, and then they come back. That is how it is. So I'm sorry, there was a chat over the screen. I'm sorry. So this is especially for differently disabled people. Most of the time, what happens is that we as children or other places, when we know that our parents would like to go to all these pilgrimages, Kashi, Rishikesh and everything, and we think that we don't have time, how do we go with them? We cannot go 20, 10, 15 days. So all we have to do is just give the setup to her, give the money to her, and she will take them safely and come back, and their purpose is fulfilled. So this was an idea which I think, as I told you, has to be given the most best innovative award of the year, because nobody would have thought about it, because it's mutually benefited. She gets to roam the city and do even the best service for the elder people, right? So as I told you, with all the great ideas which you have seen now, I have some more which I can tell, that digital marketing. How many of you know that data analyzing and data trend is also a type of business? For example, in Chennai, we all know that Sarana Stores is on top. Okay. But when they start a new branch, when they recently started that Chromepet branch, I suppose, from Sarana Stores, how do they know that it is going to be a success? They are building it. They always make it as a big propaganda. They advertise in such big manner, and it is always 4 or 5 storied. How do they know that it is going to be a successful one? It is because of this data analysis. They know through the data which they have been gathering it from other stores, how many people are coming from Chromepet, what are the products they are looking for, will they be purchasing this, all this data analysis and trend they take, and then they set up this. Why even we can do that? This is a part of digital marketing. If you provide data about what is available in your place and what is going to be a success ratio to the digital marketers and everything, or people who wants to start business and entrepreneurs, that itself is a business idea. Then, as I told you, blogging, vlogging, digital marketing, courier service. There was a guy in North India who developed, he was only 16 years old. He joined with an NGO and he developed this business of giving service, courier service of food. So what he did was, during this pandemic time, he approached all the hotels who had dry provisions. Okay, because the hotels were closed because of pandemic. There was no people coming and eating, and anyway they had to throw it out to waste. So what he told, I will buy this for a half rate, whatever rate you're telling, half rate I will buy. And what he did was, through the NGO he bought that, and then he gave it as a free, first 20 to 30 family he gave it for free who were underprivileged. Okay, and slowly this NGO started helping them. They started crowdfunding for that. They developed 1 million actually 1 million rupee, and they started doing this as a service. And such a small boy was able to innovate such a big idea, such a thinking during this pandemic time. So like this, every idea you think in your mind. Now again, I'm going to put this question to you. Now please don't tell me that you don't have no idea. I want you all to tell what you're good at. What do you think you're good at? It could be anything. Home cleaning, yes, that can be made as a business. You know about little about farming, or making farming with flowers and everything, that can be made as a business. You know to make wigs, then that can be made as a business. You will not tell that you will not believe me that this particular thing, the hair, could make a dime. Okay, if you're able to make a wig out of it and color it and give for hair extension, it is going to make a dime. I'm telling you, you believe me or not. Okay, then if you know to make handcrafts, as I told you, art and craft, then yes, you can make a business out of it. Now I want you all to tell what is your talent, what is hidden in you, what do you do in your hobbies. If you know to tell stories, storytelling is an art. You can make business out of it. Okay, and then if you know to take good class teaching, and like Mahalakshmi ma'am told, yes, you can start your own tuition centers, you can start your own webinars, you can join White Hat Junior. White Hat Junior is, you must have seen on Facebook, where they are hiring teachers for part-time. You can teach them, and then you can start your own app, or you can start your own YouTube channel. You can start your own Facebook channel and everything. You can be live and teach anything you want to. I have my own YouTube channel to teach alternative advanced English words. I do that. And during this pandemic, my business, which I had on VIR data technology for automotives, was totally into sabbatical mode. One of the person asked me, I told I will get back to them. What if I already started a business and it was a total loss during this pandemic? I am in the same situation. I am able to relate it, but I know that I'm going to come up. So what I did was, I did not stop that. I have only paused it. I know it is there. I have definitely, that's a loss to me because I'm not making any revenue. I have only paused it, and I took up this webinar full time to make money, because I have to sustain. I have to have my own commitment. I have my own commitments to get all this revenue and earnings done. So I did that. And I'm also asking you to please wait until this pandemic is over and your business will be on top. Every business has a requirement after this pandemic. For this current situation, I'm just giving you a spark of how to get your sustaining business, how to keep yourself running. So I have been in that situation. I did have a loss. I have put my business on a sabbatical mode, on a pause, and I know that I'm going to come up after this pandemic. In farming, Mr. Sabin Varghese, he says that he has lost in farming, and any idea of how to get back. Yes, so what I will suggest is, in whatever area you have selected this business in farming, you can tie up with the other, this one who is available there. I'm just telling you that's an option, because there are so many other farmers and farming lands available in that particular region. And if you tie up with them, what they do is they will take the money from you and they will develop all the system. They will give the irrigation system, manure and everything, and they will give you the harvest also. That is like somebody taking care of our land. That also can be done. Or if you say that, no, I don't have money at all for anything now, so the next thing you can do is approach for a fund or a loan, because you already have a land. That is an advantage. Because you already have a land, you can approach for fund or scheming and start again from first, and nothing will be a loss which you have put on mud. The one thing which we have invested on mud and on our earth will always give returns. That is universal law. And I can ask you is to restart if you don't want to collaborate with others, and you are having schemes for that available on with the government. So because the land is yours, that is the only advantage. Okay, so now I'm open up for the question. Yeah, Ms. Mahalakshmi, I will definitely share you my contact number. Right now, I'm giving you all my email ID for any kind of entrepreneurship support and mentorship. I will help you all. And through my email, I will give you my contact number. Definitely. Mahalakshmi ma'am, you know, Hindi, Marathi, English, Tamil is a great thing. I think you can start that as a tuition, start teaching them, becoming a translator. All that can be a part of your business. You can go ahead and try being a translator for novelists who wants to publish their book in Hindi or Marathi and all that. And there are in government, there is an online government portals where they're looking for teachers who are giving projects like that. Because now you know the new national education policy has told that 3 compulsory language, 1 regional language. So people who are having Marathi as regional language would want teachers. So you can apply for it. Thank you, Gandhamati ma'am, but I'm expecting questions now. You can actually unmute everyone. If anybody is having question, can ask me. Actually, Ratna had raised her hand. Anybody wants to ask me questions, can ask me directly. Thank you, Mr. Balasubramanian.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Really, it's informative and interesting lecture, ma'am. Ma'am, what are the schemes available for the women entrepreneurs? And could you tell about e-marketing, ma'am?
Sure. Ma'am, e-marketing, digital marketing, both are same. So as I told you, initially, you don't have to have any kind of high-fi knowledge, high investment, nothing. I will tell you 3 simple things. You're all already having WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Okay. I will suggest you to make your own advertisements through Canva. There are a lot of advertisement apps available. Whatever products you are trying to sell or whatever service you're trying to do, you need to have time sense. You have to do this advertisement. You have to do a lot of analysis for that. So what you have to do is you have to post your advertisement in 4 different timings. 1 in the morning session, afternoon session, evening session, and night session. If you all have noticed in Facebook and LinkedIn, you will see the number of views. Have you ever noticed that, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
There will be number of views.
Yes,
See
yes.
which particular advertisement had more views. So that is the catch. That is the crowd you're expecting. So for example, there was a view of your particular advertisement at evening. So all your audiences are available at evening. That if that number was high, so you have to again and again and again advertise there. So in e-marketing, it is not at all any rocket science, ma'am. After that, once you have done all this, you have set up your business, then you can go ahead with your website. Until you don't have a website, even a personal blog, the blogging is also more than enough to tell about yourself.
Okay.
Personal blogging app is very sufficiently available over the
Is
internet.
it safe,
Or if you
ma'am?
say, I want to create, yes, it is absolutely safe. It's
Okay, thank you.
absolutely safe. It cannot steal any of your information or anything. And in marketing, all I tell is just make propaganda of your service. Just tell them that you're available and let them contact you.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.